Please welcome to the stage Public Utilities Commissioner Christy Fegan.
All right, guys, can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me now? You should be able to hear me now.
Hello, South Dakota. We are a
Can you hear me now?
state. So, what does red mean in the Republican Party? R, responsibility. We are responsible to our citizens and responsible to freedom. We are effective. Our Republican values are effective for families, effective for babies, effective for businesses.
Is she really
effective to protect
being like
our rights.
a little grade school teacher right now? Seriously? Wow.
D, Republicans deliver results. So I am blessed to be one of your 3 Republican Public Utilities Commissioners in South Dakota. And in South Dakota, every day I bring an additional red to the PUC. I believe and I fight for you every day for reliable electricity delivered. And let me tell you, the White House and President Biden their radical policies on energy, on fossil fuels and electricity are shutting the lights off in South Dakota and across the U.S. So I am fighting for you to keep the lights on. So South Dakota, we need red values at the local level, at the state level, and at the federal level. So together, let's make sure we make America great again and bring red back to the White House.
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota School and Public Lands Commissioner Brock Greenfield.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. Those words come straight from my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and have been repeated most famously by our first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. It is undeniable and has proven true time and again. Strife from within ultimately leads to failure at our very foundation. A few years ago, a very prominent Republican candidate for president quipped that he was going to go to Washington, D.C. and drain the swamp. That soundbite caught fire and became the mantra of so many of us who are on the outside looking in. We watch as the swamp creatures do what is in their own selfish interests, but overlook what is in the best interest of the broader cross-section of American society. Fast forward a few years. The swamp is ever aging. Elected leaders freeze up when asked questions, shake hands with thin air, utter nonsensical word salads, and fall up the stairs 3 times. With the likes of Feinstein, Fetterman, and Biden at the helm, the swamp is beginning to look more like a garden full of vegetables. My friends, our job is to encourage our fellow patriots to stop focusing on our differences and focus on the values we share. This House must be united as we move forward to send a loud and clear message that our state and country cannot thrive until we recognize certain absolute truths. We need to demand that politicians kick the boys off the girls' playing fields and out of their showers. Get CRT out of the classroom. Quit making decisions that are rooted in the ESG and DEI agendas. Stop killing innocent babies. And secure our borders. Finally, we need to send a loud and clear message next year to the angry radical left, and it starts at the top by telling the current president, Joe, you're fired. And I'm excited tonight to hear from a person who would love to deliver that message. Thank you and God bless.
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota State Auditor Rich Setgast.
Well, good evening, South Dakota, and welcome to our friends in our neighboring states who traveled here for this evening's event. My wife, Penny, and my family would like to welcome you all here. And in addition to that, we wanted to give you a little inspiration on what's going on. First of all, my wife and I combined have attended over 6 events with President Trump, and it's just fantastic. You know, I can feel it from up here. You can feel the energy down there. I felt it when Brock was talking. You folks are getting fired up, and I have to tell you, when you leave here tonight, you will be inspired and you will have that energy, and it will be infectious for you. And we need that. We need to hold on to that because we need it going forward into our future. You know, the liberal agenda, which is woke, are anybody in here woke? Well, my colleague brought it up that ESG financial models and agendas, the liberal agenda, is really pushing institutions to the left. It started out with BlackRock investing in places across this country, and we need to fight them back, and so you need to contain this energy that you have here this evening. BlackRock has pushed institutions by incentivizing woke agendas. And you know what? We can fight back. We can do that with our pocketbooks, because if you're woke, what do? You go broke. Absolutely. We need to carry that agenda with us. I'm a Colorado Buffalo fan. I have been since the 1980s. Well, I have to tell you, in the 1980s, they had inspiration with Bill McCartney, who is also the head of the Promise Keepers. But we also now have Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, who said in an interview when he does his recruiting, he looks for kids that are grounded. He looks for kids that have come from a stable family environment because he knows they will be leaders. That's what we need to do as well. We need to keep that agenda moving forward and reject the woke agenda that we're seeing today, where we are pushing in transgender ideas. When you listen to President Trump tonight, you will go home with that inspiration in your hearts. I know it because I've been to a number of these type of rallies before. So what I want to say to you is God bless South Dakota, God bless you, and all of us keep praying for President Trump because we cannot have that woke agenda. Thank you all.
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota State Treasurer Josh Hader.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute honor to be with you, and there's no better way to start the speech out than this, and I want you to cheer along with this. Let's go, Brandon! Now listen, I truly believe God doesn't give us more than we can handle, and that's why I'm still optimistic about the future of this great nation. But I know God gave the political elites, the national news media, the Democrats, and the big guy more than they could handle when they gave us President Donald J. Trump. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tale of two governments in this country. Let me outline the first one for you. One at the federal level, ran by the Democrats and the establishment. They've driven up the cost of living by more than $700 a month with inflation. 57% of Americans can't put aside $1,000 for emergencies. The government colludes with large corporations to stifle your First Amendment rights, and the list goes on and on. But here at the state level, South Dakota is ran by America's Governor, Kristi Noem. Furthermore, Republican statewide officials hold 12 of 12 offices, and 94 legislators hold 94 seats out of the 105 legislative seats. And why does that matter? Here in South Dakota, we're getting it right. We have what's called responsible governance, and I want to share some numbers with you. While so many state budgets will experience a shortfall this year, South Dakota's revenue projection will be $182 million higher than expected. That's worth an applause. Our state retirement system. Our state retirement system continues to be more than 100% funded. We are only one of two states in the country that do that. And ladies and gentlemen, unlike the federal government, which has literally sunk us into a $30 trillion plus deficit and growing every day, South Dakota balances its budget every single year. Now, just one more thing I want to share with you, because we're all so proud of our veterans and the work. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you, veterans. We're so honored for the veterans that are here tonight. Thank you for your service. And ladies and gentlemen, I would just tell you I'm so absolutely proud of the example that South Dakota has set for the rest of the nation, and so are millions of Americans who choose to come here and spend their hard-earned time and money. I think that's one of the reasons President Trump is coming here tonight. Now, with that, I just want to take a moment. I want to thank all of our conservative Republican legislators and statewide elected officials who are here tonight for upholding those conservative values that make South Dakota such a great place. Can we give them all a round of applause, please? All right, now I've got a good one for you. I want to end with a trick question. All right. How many indictments does it take to steal the presidential election in 2024? Here's the answer. there is not enough because Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States of America. Thank you and God bless.
That was dorky. Like, that was, I mean, can South Dakotans be any more flippin' cheesebally?
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota
Wow.
Attorney General Marty Jackley.
Wow, it's great to be home. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve as your Attorney General, and thank you for the support that you always give to law enforcement. While the other team is defunding the police, you're always there for us. Thank you.
He's fake. He's fake. I don't like these guys. They're all fake. Why is the South Dakota Republican Party so fucking fake?
Take back the country.
Ugh.
Economics aren't working. Biden's 8.5% inflation affects every one of us at the grocery store and the pumps. We need a president that understands the economy. We have a crisis at our southern border. Under Biden, 5.8 million illegals have come into our country. What that means for you in law enforcement, we've got methamphetamine, we have fentanyl, we have huge problems. We need a president in Washington to secure that border. Fellow Republicans, we're the party of freedom and individual responsibility. We're the party that understands that innocent life is worth fighting for. We're the party that doesn't just preach the Second Amendment, we practice it. And we're the party that understands what our veterans have done and how important our military is, and we respect them and we support them. Friends, 2024 is our time. May God bless you and may God bless our great state. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota Lieutenant Governor Larry Roden.
Man, this is like a parade of dorks. I'm serious. I don't know how Trump does this stuff. This is a parade of flippin' dorks. What the heck?
Well, howdy. How cool is this? I am so excited here once again to welcome President Trump back to the state of South Dakota. So it's been been entertaining just the last couple days watching some of the national media and the liberal talking heads that are trying to, put a rationale and put a negative spin on Trump visiting South Dakota. Like, why would he visit South Dakota? Or even our in-state political science professor from Aberdeen, Northern State. He was grousing. Well, I had his quote. He says, "It's not like it would be at the top of my list to travel to South Dakota if I were Donald Trump." National reporters doing the same. Well, that's funny because I know the answer to that question. You see, think about it. This is President Trump's third trip to South Dakota in the last 5 years. President Trump knows for a fact in his heart of hearts that South Dakota is the freest state in a nation built on the principles of freedom. And he's a freedom-loving American. Why wouldn't he want to be in South Dakota? For me, as Lieutenant Governor, it's just been such an incredible experience. For the last 5 years, to see what we went through as a state and a nation, the adversity and the conflict and all the issues and COVID. And I was thinking about it the other day, and through that adversity, we found opportunity. We found the opportunity as a state to demonstrate to the nation what adhering to our Christian conservative principles and the understanding that our rights are given to us by God and not by government, and we have no authority to take them away. We demonstrated to the state and to our nation and to the planet what freedom looks like. I've never in my life seen an opportunity like we had to sort the wheat from the chaff. A purely philosophical argument about our conservative values. Do you believe in them or don't you? Do you believe in limited government or don't you? And then to see the outcome of adhering to those values and seeing a state prosper like South Dakota has, and we have been a beacon of hope to the nation and a planet. It's pretty exciting times that we've been through. And I will say this, I'm not naive. There are a lot of issues in our nation, and we're going to face a great deal of adversity and problems and liberal ideology. We all know what they're putting President Trump through right now. 92 felony counts in 4 jurisdictions. That's egregious. And that's why President Trump's here, because he gets it. And if I was him, I'd want to be in a group of friends, because he gets it just like we get it. I'll leave you with this charge. We have an awesome responsibility as conservatives and as freedom lovers. We need to work hard to protect those freedoms that so many of our forefathers fought and died for to defend. We should look for leaders that understand where our rights come from and have the courage and strength of character to defend those rights and stand up for the people of South Dakota and the United States of America like Donald Trump has. God bless you all. May God continue to bless the great state of South Dakota, and my prayer is that God will lead President Trump. Thank you all.
It's an honor to be here today in Rapid City, not so far from the places that President Theodore Roosevelt used to visit back around the turn of the century. But it's an honor also to share this platform with so many of South Dakota's finest. Your Governor, Bill Janklow, your next Governor, George Mickelson, and the man South Dakota is about to re-elect to the United States Senate, Jim Abner. Would you rather have an America that is strong and proud and free? Do you want Jim Abner as your senator from the great state of South Dakota?
Through the post-war era, Republican governors in South Dakota fought to keep the state free of government regulation, like an ex-Marine from Flandreau named Bill Janklow, who became nationally known for fighting for South Dakota. The South Dakota Republican Party built on its winning tradition in 2004, when John Thune defeated the Senate Majority Leader, the nation's highest-ranking Democrat, the result of South Dakota Republicans coming together to fight this monumental struggle and succeed. The strong South Dakota grassroots movement elected leaders like Mike Rounds, Dennis Dugard, and Dusty Johnson, and achieved history when it went on to elect the first female Republican to the House of Representatives in Christy Nome. In 2016, the state overwhelmingly voted to send Donald J. Trump to the White House to make America great again. In 2018, history was made again in South Dakota when the people elected Kristi Noem as the first female governor of the state. Under her leadership, South Dakota has become an example to the nation. Some places talk conservative. Here, we live it. We are incredibly thankful for the amazing legacy left by those who came before, and the strong foundations that they built. As we look ahead, we must continue to build on that foundation. The foundation built on the principles that have made the state of South Dakota and the United States of America so great. The principles that believe that every man and woman ought to be free, and that government should only exist to secure that freedom. In short, the South Dakota motto, under God, the people rule.
Please welcome to the stage South Dakota Republican Party Chairman John Wick.
Good evening, South Dakota. Oh, come on. Good evening, South Dakota. That's more like it. Thank you for coming to the first ever Monumental Leaders Rally. I am proud to announce a record-breaking crowd for the South Dakota Republican Party, with over 7,000 of you here today to support President Donald J. Trump. As you saw on the screen behind me as you were walking in today, it's been over 3 years since South Dakota first hosted another record-breaking event with President Trump. Tonight, it's my honor to once again host Governor Kristi Noem and President Donald Trump in Rapid City, South Dakota. You should see what I see. It is so absolutely incredible to see so many patriots here tonight. And we're all here with one goal: to send Joe Biden back to his basement and take our country back. I lived my entire life in South Dakota, but just a half a mile from our town is the state of Minnesota. It's worth it. We get a lot of our news from Minnesota, right out of Minneapolis. And over the last 3 years, I've watched Minnesota liberal policies burn the state and the Twin Cities down. With Democrat leadership from the top down, and don't get me started on their governor, please. Their progressive majority has destroyed the great state of Minnesota. This last year, I've watched as the liberal Democrats in the state's leadership passed abortion until birth. They decriminalized drugs. Even have gone as far as calling Minnesota the new liberal utopia. In less than 90 days, their state legislature completely restructured the state of Minnesota to fit their liberal Democrat agenda. But just 200 miles away from the Minnesota border in Pierre, South Dakota, we tell a very different story. Thanks to the leadership from Governor Kristi Noem and Republicans in the state legislature, we have kept South Dakota free. We have kept South Dakota safe. And we have kept South Dakota open.
Republicans have made South Dakota the best state in the nation to live, work, and raise your family your way. To live the way our founding fathers intended. In my time in the state legislature, we've cut taxes and red tape. We passed constitutional carry with the nation's strongest self-defense laws. And we have protected life. The liberal Democrats can't win in South Dakota, so they're trying to change the rules. Petitions are circulating right now to remove party labels from the ballot and write abortion into our Constitution forever. So don't sign their petitions. Just don't sign their petitions. Years from now, we will reflect on the 2024 election. It'll show we faced a critical choice at the ballot box in November. A choice between the overreach of big government by liberal Democrats like Minnesota or common sense, conservative, small government, Republican government in South Dakota. We are at a pivotal moment in history. And if you've never really paid attention before, I'm sure you are now. My first job outside of our family business in high school was playing Rush Limbaugh on the radio during my summer vacations. I had the privilege of listening to Rush Limbaugh twice a day, every day, to make sure the recording worked throughout my entire high school years. Rush always said, "I'll tell you when it's time to panic." Well, Rush might be gone, but I still don't think it's time to panic. However, it is time to engage. If you're not registered to vote, register Republican. Volunteer on a campaign, walk in a parade, make phone calls, knock on doors, talk to your neighbors, write a check. Grassroots activists will make the difference in this election. Tonight, you've already taken the first step towards saving America just by being here. Your support is helping us to create the service organization that will elect Republicans, both here in South Dakota and across the nation. We will work through the primary season and at the RNC convention in July of 2024, when we will nominate the leader who will send Joe Biden back to the basement and put a patriot back in the White House. It will take time. It will take work. It'll take money. But most importantly, it will take each and every one of you in this room to come together and get it done. We are much stronger when we stand together than when we stand apart. This is not a new challenge. We've faced big tests before. We have proved ourselves as a nation that we can come together and win. We're Americans, and we're South Dakotans. We do big things, and we finish what we start. God bless America, and God bless the great state of South Dakota. Thank you for coming tonight.
It's a little bit better. I don't think anybody should register for either party. Be an independent. Just facts. If we want to come together, we got to stop doing this party bullshit. Hey, love this song. Hallelujah. Seriously? All right, there we go.
It has been energetic so far as we've had several GOP speakers here from South Dakota take the stage, vowing for a better America, and also just kind of bragging on their state and how far South Dakota has come and how well they're doing right now under Governor Kristi Noem. She'll be on stage here momentarily. We're expecting her to probably be next. We're not 100% sure, but she should be taking the stage soon. We do know President Trump is delayed getting here due to weather issues. So that is still an undetermined time that he'll be here. We're thinking maybe 30, 45 minutes after his expected time. So he is on the way. They were just under a weather delay where he was taking off from to be able to get here to South Dakota. But he is coming. He is on the way. Governor Kristi Noem is on her way to the stage as well. We want to thank the South Dakota GOP for inviting us here and allowing us to be here for this wonderful event as we start to travel the country, continue traveling the country with President Donald Trump. We can't wait to see what his next few weeks hold. We know he will be at a football game. A very, I guess, a good game is going to be had this weekend tomorrow, and Brian Glenn will be there as well. So make sure you tune into RSBN for that. We also have some other events that are coming up with President Trump in the next couple of weeks. So stay with RSBN as those.
These guys that were speaking are lackluster. They're nerds. They're dorks. And they're not the people that should be representing us, really. Not all. I mean, you need nerds and dorks to represent, but not at the level that. I mean, we got most of the politicians that we have are dipshits. That's why they're easily corrupted. And they've never been cool in their life. They've always been teased and bullied and persecuted. And so when they get in a position where they can make leaps way above anybody else with power and money, they take that opportunity. It's easy to corrupt these people. But, you know, Trump goes to these smaller cities, these smaller towns. He goes there because that's where the decisions of this country should really be made. Dependents, look, the adults in this country, the responsible kids in this country live outside of the metropolitan areas. The irresponsible kids of this country live in the metropolitan areas. The rural areas are what support and make life in the city possible. These rural places, they're the support, 100% support for those cities. And honestly, I've gotten to a point where cities shouldn't be making choices for this country. It should be the rural areas. Let the people in the rural areas make the choices because they're the ones that are keeping this thing together. They're the ones supporting. You take those rural places out of the equation, the cities would fall. They would crumble. They wouldn't have any food. They wouldn't have any kind of anything. They just wouldn't have anything. You name it. Go off a list of things that you need to survive in the city. Where do you get them? Not in the city.
You can have that. So as long as people keep religion in their family, keep God number one, and yeah, you'll be successful.
Sir, you're an officer and you're tearing up.
I am. Why? I just have. I was in police work for 28 years, and I look back. I look back at families that don't have that, don't have those values. They're not given those tools, and it was. I think it was I felt that it was my responsibility to go around and just help as much as I could.
And he brings up an awesome point. You know, we love President Trump, we love Kristi Noem, we love a number of conservatives out there, but thank God for God.
Absolutely. God's first, always.
No doubt.
First, foremost, yeah.
Keep families together.
God, family, work.
That's why we're all here together.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
It's a love fest in Rapid City. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we see here. Just amazing patriots saying amazing things that are from the heart and authentic and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to hear him say USA real quick. Look at them all with the Trump signs there. I mean, I wonder if everybody's a supporter of Donald Trump. They are. Let's send it back to Vanessa up there on the media riser.
All right, we want to thank one of our sponsors, Birch Gold. Always a pleasure having Birch Gold here with us as the demand for the dollar weekends, the buying power of the dollar weekends. That is why Birch Gold Group is busier than ever. Investors and savers are looking to harness the power of physical gold held in a tax-sheltered IRA. So all you have to do is text the word Trump to 989898. Again, that's Trump to 989898. You'll get a free information kit. A representative will call you. They will talk about a plan that works just for you. So you'll get your own personalized plan. And then think we all have that just yet. Okay, so back in session on Tuesday. September 12th is the day that Congress.
Oh, for crying out loud. Come on, Trump. Get your flipping ass there. Kristi Noem should step it up, get her ass out there, and just start talking. If I didn't have such stage fright, I would flip and do it myself. Well, yeah, shit, I could have 7,000 people watching me on here right now, and it wouldn't be a problem. But as soon as 7,000 people in person on a stage like that, shit, I couldn't even do that with 100 people. Facts. Facts.
Congress goes back to session. If spending legislation is not passed, the government will shut down at midnight on September 30th. So those are
Good.
two important dates.
Let the government shut the fuck down.
Stay with RSBN as we continue to cover the
Good.
impeachment filed
Get rid of them.
and also the looming government shutdown. And again, if nothing is passed, the government shutdown will take effect on September 30th at midnight. All right, we are. Let's go to Matthew to look at the crowd. Let's look at the crowd. You know, President Trump tries to, or he does say, and he's absolutely right. Most of these media outlets do not show the crowd, but here at RSBN, we show the crowd. And he knows that. We love showing the crowd because we love the people too, just like he does. So let's show the crowd. Matthew Alvarez is down with the crowd on the floor. Matthew.
Packed house.
So much, Vanessa. Yeah, I mean, the crowd,
I see a few empty seats there. What the hell?
More and more, waiting for the president to show up here. You know, I'm talking to a number of people in the audience that are just really, really excited to be at an event like this. You know, we were talking about that before. If you're just tuned in, I'm going to kind of walk over this way while I talk, but everybody's being encouraged by these kind of events. These are more than, I'm going to say it. These are more than President Trump in only one way. He created MAGA. He made it such a thing now that it's exploded. I mean, everybody wants freedom. It's the Constitution and that kind of thing. He just led the way. That's why we want him back in the White House. And it's just interesting to see all these people here. It's kind of like a hockey kind of vibe or a kind of an event atmosphere in the sense of a sporting event, but it's for someone that we're really happy to have at this arena here in a little bit. Anyway, let me get to my friend over here. Come on over.
It's totally not a sporting event vibe right now. They're waiting. They're bored. It's like intermission at a theater. Everybody's just kind of waiting for the play to resume. It's kind of like, come on, get it going here.
Let's rewind to 2015, though. Who were you supporting then? Was it President Trump at that point?
It was, for sure.
Somebody's phone goes off in the middle of the music right there, but that's all right.
Okay.
So you were a supporter then, and then why are you still supporting President Trump?
Because he protects our country and he knows what we need and what we deserve, and he protects everybody.
How about your friends and family? What are they saying about the nation right now?
Wow. That's a horrible answer.
I feel bad for our grandchildren, what's going to happen to them and our country. It's just
Wow.
down.
Holy smokes. Okay. This is our fucking problem. Republicans are feckless. Good God. I support him because he protects our country. How about you support him because you feel the same way he does, and that we need to protect the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and our whole Constitution. Holy shit. We got some real fucking winners on the Republican side. Good God. I'm glad she supports President Trump, but she's a little slow. She's a little fucking slow. And this shit bugs the crap out of me. I was saying this the other day. Trump can't do this on his own. We can't depend on Trump. We have to support Trump and be in the fight right along with him. And so, I support Trump because he protects America. He protects me. He protects us. No, fuck, no. We the people. We protect us. We protect the country. People don't get, still slow. Little slow. Absolutely driving me crazy when I hear bullshit like that. Mm. Veterans that feel like they've been put on the back burner. They have been on the back burner for years and years.
On top of roughly $76 billion already sent, along with military supplies, and that includes ammunition, that includes military tanks. All of this is being sent to Ukraine when our American families are struggling here at home. And so I've talked to a lot of people here today who are also not happy with what's going on in Ukraine and all that money being sent there.
Hookah, do you want to come in and chat while we're waiting? Since you don't have to hear what's on here right now, unless you're really wanting to. The music they're playing right now is going to, well, it's killing the vibe of this whole thing. It ain't a rally. This is like just elevator fucking bullshit. Oh my goodness. Good God help us all.
Governor Kristi Noem taking the stage. We'll see real quick. Oh, yeah, it was just people hearing the music stop. So, yes, they're just excited to be here. We're all excited to be here. Yeah. And we also want to thank, I forgot about my little pin. Yeah. One of the guys that's here, one of the Trump supporters that's here is a veteran, and he gave us these pins that are American flag on a cross. Yeah, and you can't get any more patriotic and blessed than that.
Exactly. Faith and freedom is
there. And sometimes it's not showing you in the green room, Hookah.
What do you believe in? And you can, some of us or most of us out there that are watching might say, Jesus is my savior and Trump is my president. But I love what President Trump does. He does great things for, the faith community, right? I mean, the Jewish people, with the Abraham Accords, and having Jerusalem, it's
all right.
So that's quite awesome. So, what do you think the Governor Noem's going to say tonight in the sense of her delivery? I mean, I wonder how.
Hold on a second, everybody. I'm eager
to see her again. I've said this all day long. This is the first time I've seen her.
Hold on, I might have to